Now we will take up teeth. Very interesting. We say a healthy man has 32 teeth. Is it? You learnt in lower classes. 32 teeth, 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw. In your textbook you have a picture. That's why I have not shown it here. That of the entire lower jaw they have shown there. You can have a look at that. See, we have incisors here. Milk teeth. First of all, we speak of milk teeth. Milk teeth are teeth in infants. Once the infancy is almost over, at that age, small teeth start appearing here. First of all, incisors appear. Then the canines appear. These are called as milk teeth. When the child is sucking the milk of the mother, baby sucks the milk of the mother, these teeth appear. That's why they are called as milk teeth. ಹಾಲು ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳು, ಹಾಲು ಕುಡಿಯುವಾಗ ಕಾಣಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳು, milk teeth. They start falling off. They are not permanent teeth. By the time the child reaches the age of 6 to 8 years, you know it. When you are in standard first, standard second, standard third, you have seen these teeth one by one falling off. And what happens next? New teeth appear. In their places, new teeth appear. They are called as permanent teeth. Do they fall off? No. They will be there throughout your life. That's why we call them as permanent teeth. They are strong. They are larger in size. But sometimes, as the age advances, you reach 70, 75, 80 or 85, these teeth may start falling off. But in some, they don't fall off. Even if they are 95 years, 100 years, the teeth may stay in position there. This aspect differs from person to person. It's not the same. We all differ from each other. The teeth may become weak in their cavities and fall off. Or the teeth may stick on and stay strong for a very long time. And there are lots of people, when all the teeth start decaying, there is a lot of pain, they cannot bite properly, they get all their teeth removed and go for artificial teeth. Isn't it? Artificial teeth. Either they will be permanent fixtures or every night you remove them, keep in clean water, and in the morning you wear them. You wear them. Permanent teeth last throughout life. Now, how many of these different kinds of teeth? Let's see. Types. With clean fingers, as you study at home, don't do now. At home, after washing your hands properly, sit in front of a mirror and try to feel all the teeth. See, incisors. The 4 in front, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the upper jaw, 4 in the lower jaw, 4 plus 4. Look at these teeth, they are like this, they are chisel-like. Carpenters will have chisel, no? If they hit it with the hammer, the wood will get cut into 2 pieces. They are incisors. When you want to eat a carrot, what do? You place the carrot in the mouth and bite. A piece gets separated from the carrot and you start biting that later. They are incisors. They are 4 in number. Canines. Next to these 4, you have 2 pointed teeth here. You can see, sit in front of the mirror and see 2 pointed teeth. Place your finger there and slowly bite. They are nail-like. Canines are nail-like. Incisors are biting teeth, biting or cutting teeth, but canines are piercing teeth. Piercing, they make a hole. Or you can tear food. Those who eat meat, If you want to tear food, or even a cat, a tiger, to tear food, it uses the canines. Canines are very long in them. In carnivores, the canines are long. In human beings, canines are not that long because we don't use canine much. The food we take is cooked food. If you were eating flesh of animals, raw, then the canines should have been there to tear food every now and then. Food is cooked, no? It is soft. You need canines now? But still, canines are there. They remind you of the kind of life you are leading 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. They remind you. They are two in number. One on this side, one on this side. Two in the lower jaw, two in the upper jaw. Then premolars. Then you have premolars. Two here, again two here, two here. They are like this. See, upper part is becoming flattened, almost flat. Here it is pointed. Here it is chisel-like. These are premolars. They are 4 in number. Then you have molars. 3 here and 3 here, lower jaw. 3 here and 3 here in the upper jaw. They have 3 roots. They are very strong. Lot of grinding work they do, no? Premolars and molars do the grinding job. They grind food like the grinding machine. So when you have to chew food, premolars and molars will be in action. See, when you eat next time, you will be chewing on either sides of the buccal cavity. You don't chew here. Here you cut. Almost here you tear. And here we chew. We have the premolars and molars, 4 plus 6, 10 in the upper jaw, 10 in the lower jaw. 10 plus 10, 20 teeth are premolars and molars, meant for chewing. But lots of people swallow food in a hurry. They will be looking at the watch and swallowing. That's not at all good for health. You should have the required time set aside for eating your food. When you eat food, chew well. Premolars and molars have to be put into action. If you don't chew food well, the job of your stomach will get enhanced. The chewing work, what you did in the mouth, will have to be taken by the stomach now. You may start getting pain. You may feel uneasy after having food. No doubt, our food is cooked. It compensates a bit. Cooked food is always soft. Raw food is, it has to be chewed. Raw food is very tough. It has to be chewed. Now, these 4 you can make out. See, molars are wider than premolars, have 3 roots. That's why in case a molar tooth is decaying and it has to be plugged out, taken out, you will have a lot of pain. The doctor will start opening out the jaw there, then with his tools he has to pull out. It won't come easily. He has to give you anesthetic injection to see that this area becomes totally numb. Even that, then he will struggle. You see the dentist struggling to take it out because their roots are very strong. These are called as the roots. Here you find 3 roots. Altogether, incisors 4, canines 2, premolars 4, molars 6. Add up, it is 16. 16 in one jaw. In the 2 jaws, 16 into 2, 32. We say a healthy man has 32 teeth. In case 1 or 2 have been removed because of caries or decay, then you will have lesser number of teeth in the mouth. Sometimes they start overlapping. When they overlap, it will not be in order. Then the dentist will say, there is an extra tooth here, they are overlapping, we will remove one of them and all the teeth will get set well. Then too you will have less number of teeth. So tooth decay. Nowadays we hear lot of stories of tooth decay. Men and women in their prime age, they keep on telling, oh, there's aching tooth, there's tooth pain, and they start swallowing tablets. Why do we get tooth decay? It's all because of our feeding habits. We eat more of chocolates, more of sweets, and the sweet nature of the nutrient what we take in, what we eat in, they get collected on the teeth. The bacteria feed on them. When they feed on the sweet substance in what you have eaten, acids get produced, acids get formed. These acids have a corroding effect. They start corroding the teeth. The teeth are always covered by enamel. It's a very tough material. Even this enamel, they start corroding. Then holes appear, pits appear, food particles get collected. There's more of decay now, bacterial decay, and that will lead to the total collapse of that tooth. Ultimately you have to go to the doctor, he will say, let us remove it. It has to be removed. So incisor, canine, premolar, molar. Once the lesson is over, you keep the mirror in front of you, open your mouth and try to locate them all. And place your clean finger on each of the tooth and feel how are the incisors, how is the canine, which one is the canine, how does it look like, then premolars, then molars, feel them all. See, learning is always experience oriented. You should get the experience of it, not looking at the pictures and studying them. You should feel, learn, even as you sit for eating next time, you should visualize how all these teeth play their functions, play their roles. So, clean with brush. How many times should you brush in a day? At least twice. Once in the morning, once in the night, before you go to bed. After you brush your teeth, you should not eat anything. Don't brush and have a banana later. The job has failed then. Before you go to bed, you brush your teeth very well. Then clean your tongue too. There will be collection of food material on the tongue. Clean it. Gargle mouth well and go to bed. You feel fresh as you get up in the morning because the mouth is clean. Again in the morning you have to brush your teeth. Again. That way you can keep the bacteria away and your teeth will be long lasting. They function well. The problem of caries won't be there. So health of your teeth is of paramount significance. Take care of your teeth. Don't eat sweets. If you eat sweets, immediately after that you should go brush a little bit, not with toothpaste, just brush like that, gargle once and see that the teeth are kept away from sugar. Sugar collection should not be there on the teeth. Datun is what you get from neem tree or mango tree. You get those thick stem part, no? You clean it with the help of that. People in villages used to brush that way. Even now lots of people may be doing it, but it has to be done properly. One should not be lazy in brushing his teeth. Dental floss. What is dental floss? I don't know how many of you know about it. It's a very thin fiber, comes in small boxes. You can obtain it in the medical shop. Pull out the floss. It's a thin fabric. Put it between the teeth and pull out if anything is stuck there. sometimes the food particles don't come out. Don't start inserting toothpicks and all there. That will harm your teeth. You should put dental floss, just move in and out a bit, the particle will come out. The bristles of the brush cannot go there. So that's why you should use the dental floss. Toothpick. Some people use toothpick. One has to be very careful. You should not pierce so that blood comes out. You have to be careful because it is pointed, no? Especially children should not use toothpicks till they become aware of all these concerns. Next. Now comes to tongue. What are the jobs of the tongue? First one is tasting food. It's because of the tongue you start tasting the food. You want to know whether it's bitter, sour, sweet, or you will be able to enjoy food because you have taste buds in your tongue, taste buds. Mixes saliva with food. You take in a gulp of food, saliva gets secreted by the salivary glands. Now food has to be mixed with saliva. Who does that? The tongue does that. Without you being aware of it, the tongue will go on mixing food with the saliva. A big job. And saliva starts acting on the food. I give you the example of parched rice or boiled rice. Boiled rice you just put in the mouth, nothing happens. You don't feel it tasty. Don't add any sambar or any other curry. Just go on chewing that food. The saliva gets mixed. After half a minute, you find the food to be very tasty 1 minute because the starch in the food has acted with saliva and the glucose is getting liberated. Sugar is coming out. The sugar is tasty. You feel sugar. Feel the experience of sugar in the mouth. This way, any food you take in, you should get it chewed in the mouth for quite a long time before you swallow. If you are in a hurry to eat, then what happens? The job of the stomach will increase. You would have missed one point where food have got churned well and digested. You would have missed because food directly goes into the stomach. So when you have food, chew it well. Have enough time to have food. Don't be in a hurry. Don't go on swallowing the food. Mixes saliva with food. That's the first level of digestion. Digestion in the mouth. Especially the starch in the food gets digested in the mouth itself. If you are in the normal speed of taking in food. Next is tasting. You find the taste. You want to know how is the food. How is the level of its sour nature or bitter nature. What can you do here? See, different parts of your tongue are busy tasting a particular quality of food. See, the back tongue is always fixed at one point. Tongue is fixed to the lower part of the buccal cavity, lower part. And the rest of the tongue is free. The tongue can move in any direction. It can overturn. It does the job of a spatula. When you prepare food, you use a spatula or a big spoon to mix, no? That job is done by this organ, the tongue. Sometimes, if you are thinking of something else, you may bite your own tongue. That too happens, children especially. In a hurry, they bite their own tongue. Because you are not conscious of what you are doing. You are attending some other job and biting takes place in an unconscious way and you get bitten. See, this part is for bitterness. What you can do, ask your friend to gargle his mouth well, brush well and come and sit with his tongue out. Let him keep his tongue out. Now, ready-made solutions you have with you. One is a bitter solution. What can you do? Bring some neem leaves, crush it in water and one solution, strong solution. Few ml enough. Next one, you have the sour one, lemon juice. Put few drops of lemon juice, you have that solution. You have, sour, both the sides. Salty. Water you take, put some salt into it, mix it with, keep the salt solution. Last one, sweet. Take some sugar, mix it and keep. All the four you keep ready. Ask him to put the tongue out. You tie a cloth around his eyes because he should not see what you have in hand. Blindfold him. Now with a toothpick, just immerse it in any one particular solution. Put it here, put it here, put it here, put it here too. One after the other. You have to ask him, do you feel anything? What do you feel? What is the taste? Have a tabular column, have a picture of the tongue, check. When it comes here, he'll say, now I feel it is bitter. What did you put in my mouth? He will ask. Tell him, it's nothing but neem juice I have put in. I have located the area where bitterness is felt. Now you try with sour taste, try with salt, try with sweet. Let him gargle again. Or carefully you can go on putting and checking. Do this experiment. All such experiments with the medicos have done over years. You do. Your study should not be examination oriented. It should be experience oriented. I repeat again. Now, some people as they start eating, what happens? They say the food will enter the windpipe. It has to go in the food pipe. It enters the windpipe. Then they start coughing. They start sneezing. For next 2-3 minutes, they behave in an extraordinary way. They cannot. See here, 2 pipes are there going from the buccal cavity down. One pipe goes from the nasal cavity here into the lungs. Another pipe goes from the buccal cavity down into the alimentary canal, digestive tract. These 2 pipes are like this, one in front of the other. This bigger pipe is esophagus, food pipe. The smaller one is the windpipe, which goes to the lungs. This has been cut like this to show you the 2 pipes. Between these 2 pipes, you have a valve-like thing, a flap. Whenever you take in food, this flap will close the trachea. Trachea has to get closed because food should not enter the windpipe. It does its function well. It won't act as per our direction. It is voluntary. Voluntarily it closes as you swallow food. But sometimes you will be talking, laughing, making merry as you have food. And the valve will be, that flap is there, no? That will be in confusion to close or not. If it closes continuously, respiration won't take place. It has to open. In the meanwhile, if you swallow in, there will be a rush of food inside. Immediately it has to close. Due to this confusion, 1 or 2 food particles may enter trachea. Now, there will be a rigorous action to push it out, food particles out. So you cough, you sneeze, and you start mucus and water coming out of your nose. It will be a horrible situation. Then you have to go to the bathroom, clean yourself, again come and sit for food sometimes. And sometimes elders will start coming and hitting on your head. This is the reason. Between trachea and esophagus, you have a flap. That flap closes to trachea. when you swallow in food, it doesn't happen when you do different activities at a time. You keep talking and swallowing. When you want to talk, trachea has to be open, air has to come out. Air has to come out. As air pushes itself out, sound gets produced. But in the meanwhile, you are swallowing too. What should it do? The flap is under confusion. Flap is directed by brain. Ultimately, it is a non-voluntary. This voluntarily it does. We need not say anything. Now coming to throat. See here, I have explained everything. Hiccups. You keep getting hiccups. Gug, gug, gug. For 5-10 minutes you keep on getting hiccup. Then cough. You start coughing and sneezing. It's all because of choking. Things are not proper here. There's confusion. That choking leads to all that. Food is pushed down. Somehow the food has to be pushed down. But all these organs, they fling back into normality given some time. Given some time. Next. Stomach. I told you stomach is J-shaped almost. Mucus protects the lining. See, this is the lining of the stomach. And this lining of the stomach inside, it is covered by thin mucus. Thin mucus. So food won't damage the muscle inside. Food won't damage the muscle. This mucus will protect it. Sometimes here, due to the different kinds of food you take, it may so happen that the bacterial attack may give rise to ulcers here. Then you get stomach pain as you get ulcers in the mouth. The mucus protects your lining. When the mucus gets destroyed, ulcers happen. Food, the particles in food or the strong taste of food, elements there, they may cast influence, they may make an impact on the lining. Mucus protects the lining. Medium, the medium in the stomach is always acidic. Stomach produces dilute hydrochloric acid. The food you take in, even though it is clean and pure, it may have bacteria. Bacteria may enter your mouth. Along with food they may enter in. Now they get killed in the mouth itself. Sometimes the bacteria enter the stomach. Then the bacteria will have to be killed. Otherwise they upset your health. So who does it? The hydrochloric acid secreted by the walls of the stomach. They kill the bacteria. That's why we say stomach is acidic. Sometimes when you vomit, particles, food items in the stomach partly digested, they come out. As they come out, what is the taste you get? It is acidic taste. Because the hydrochloric acid in the stomach, the stomach is reacted, it comes out. You are not keeping well. The stomach was not healthy. But still, because of pressures from somebody or your parental pressure, you eat or the taste of food, then later you vomit everything. The stomach will push it out, send it out, saying, no, don't have anything now. So medium in the stomach is acidic. What is the acid? Dilute hydrochloric acid. It kills bacteria. Bacteria cannot fight against this acid. They fail. Digestive juices break down proteins. I told in the mouth starch. Starch was getting divided into simpler components. Here in the stomach, it is the proteins, they start breaking down. Proteins in the food. Now liver, this is liver. It's a reddish brown gland. It's the largest gland in the human body, largest organ in the human body. It is to the right side of the stomach, a little to the upper side. Liver. Bile, largest organ. Bile received in bile, which is produced in the liver, that is the juice, digestive juice, that gets stored in the gallbladder. I told you the gallbladder will be here. In the gallbladder, it gets collected. Why do you require bile? Bile will act on fats. Bile acts on fats. Now pancreas. Here what you see is the pancreas. Pancreas is a leaf-like organ on the underside of the stomach. It produces pancreatic juice. Pancreas is a cream-colored gland below the stomach. Acts on proteins, fats and carbohydrates. It acts on all. Another powerful juice. Powerful juice. See, one by one all these act on food and food gets completely digested. The bile juice from the liver, the pancreatic juice from the pancreas, both come and fall on the food in the duodenum area. Duodenum. There is outlet from the stomach. After duodenum, it moves to the intestinal part. We move ahead now. Small intestine. See, the coiled small intestine, about which I have already told you, about 25 feet long, it's here. Digestion of carbohydrates here. Sugars, they get converted into glucose here. Fats, they get converted into fatty acids and glycerol, because pancreatic juice and bile juice too has got poured on the food. But whatever conversion is there takes place in the intestine, small intestine. Proteins into amino acids. Absorption of digested food is absolutely digested. Now the digested aspects of food have to be drawn into the blood. It happens in the small intestine. Finger-like projections called villi. Villi increase the surface area of absorption. Because of these finger-like projections, about which I already explained you, the absorption surface has got increased considerably. So all the nutrients in food, they get absorbed by the blood, which will be flowing through capillaries all over the finger-like projections called villi throughout the small intestine. They have network of thin and small blood vessels. A big job in the digestive activity goes on in the intestine. Assimilation. Glucose breaks down with the help of oxygen into CO2 and H2O. Now sugar and different aspects of the nutrients, they would have reached the tissues. Carbon dioxide too reaches there. They two act and you will have carbon dioxide getting released. It has to be brought back to the lungs from different tissues of the body, and energy that is released, that is used for various day-to-day activities. It may be writing, thinking, working out, running or walking, games, play, whatever it be. Even as you sleep, you need some energy. A little amount of energy to see that all the processes of the body keep going on. Large intestine. We come to the last aspect. This is large intestine. Here we start ascending, transverse, descending, then rectum, you have anus. The opening is opening to the exterior is called anus. It is about 1.5 meters. That's around 5 feet, roughly 5 feet. Absorption of water, what does it do? Whatever roughage was there in the food, waste material in the food, all that will enter this large intestine. Required nutrients are all absorbed by blood in the small intestine. Now in the large intestine, you have the roughage, the waste which has to be expelled from the body. Here in the large intestine, as the food passes through, the watery content in the food is absorbed by blood. So liquid food is getting converted into semi-solid food now. And this semi-solid food will come to the rectum and get collected here. And anus is a constriction. It's a restricted ring constriction. So that will keep itself closed. Only when you decide to pass out stools, it will open and empty the rectum. Absorption of water and salts into blood. Fecal matter. Fecal matter is in semi-solid situation, or it is the waste that has to be expelled, or you call it stools. Stools. Doctors say your stool will have to be inspected. Have a check for bacteria, for entamoeba. Always you have stomach ache in the intestinal portion. He will tell you, let us have stools tested. If entamoeba are found, he will say, you are having amoebic dysentery. Then he will treat you for amoebic dysentery. Okay. Absorption of water and salts into blood. Fecal matter, that semi-solid substance, is thrown out through anus. Now we come to digestion. That's called as digestion. You send it out, digestion.